Hey buddies, doing another check-in. I wanted to kind of follow up and piggyback off my last video, trying to be a little bit more consistent with the content. But first we gotta like, we gotta comment, we gotta subscribe so we can keep this community growing. My last video I was talking about the cynicism that certain celebrities, entertainers, people with a platform, they receive when they are speaking on certain experiences that they've gone through while navigating the industries just in life. People talking about trauma and how it's received. You know, people can be very quick to condemn when people are expressing their point of view, when they're talking about things that they've experienced that's traumatized them. And even if they don't fully understand, even if the audience doesn't fully understand why this person is going on a rant or a rave or, like the term that everybody likes to use now is crashing out, even though I think that word is overused for sure. Not everybody's crashing out. Some people are just venting, popping off, whatever you want to call it. But that leads me into this next topic, which is rejecting people's projections. And I think that's a very important daily, lifelong lesson, is to understand that a lot of times when people have such visceral reactions to, things that somebody might say, a point of view that might be different from yours, it's a lot of times a projection. It's a projection coming from their own reality, and it's being conflated with yours. And it's not fair, it's not right, but it is a thing. And I think it's important to realize it and to be cognizant on how to deal with it. What made me want to get online and talk about this was seeing a recent resurfaced conversation that Symone had about her citizenship, basically. I remember, the interview that she had with Oprah where she said that she is an American first, right? And it just kind of created a bit of an uproar online because people assumed that she was denouncing being a Black American, and she was saying that she doesn't consider herself an African American. She considers herself an American. And I think the delivery could have been better, but I understood her point of view. I think it was interesting how everybody else took it and ran with it and trolled her, turned into a joke. And that's the problem with the internet. You can't really take it seriously because everybody is so divisive. Nobody wants to comprehend or try to understand. And this is what I was mentioning in my last video, is that it's so important that as a community, we're a little bit more thoughtful and considerate when people are sharing their stories and their life experiences, because that is a big part of just growth, is hearing different points of views, different perspectives, and being a little bit more aware so that way we can combat toxic cultures, things like that. But she reiterated recently what she meant by that, and I think that it left a better point. Not really sure how the internet has received it, but as somebody who is a first generation African American, it completely made sense to me. She's saying that for her to consider herself an African American is a bit of a further reach, because she can't trace back how far her ancestry is and where they came from the motherland before they, settled, I guess is the word. It's not the right word. Before they were basically settled into America. So that's why she identifies as American, because her lineage has been rooted in America for such a long time. She can't trace it back to her parents. Her parents didn't come from Africa. Her grandparents didn't come from Africa. It's further down the line for her. It must have been a great somebody who was originally from the motherland that was then, you know, brought to the States and then established here. And the fact that she, over all these years, never like doubled backed or, backpedaled, I really commend her for that. She stayed convicted in her stance because she knew and she knows who she is. And to me, that is the best way to avoid projections. Again, this is something that I feel like as a part of society, we all do it, but to be mature is when you are able to realize that your projections are just your projections and that you still need to create space for people to live and to express themselves within the context of who they really are. Because we all are each uniquely individual and have gone through our own journey through life, and other people's projections don't have our best interest in heart. They're speaking from their own, experiences, their own conditioning. And it's very important to stay confident in who you are and to know who you are and to believe in your point of view, because the world can turn against you, but the world doesn't know you the way you know yourself. So that point that she made back then and that she stood by these years, it's going to be received. People are going to be able to digest it because she is authentic in her journey and she is sound in her convictions. And I commend her for that. And again, it's like a journey of just getting older, getting wiser, and knowing that even when people are trying to tell you different than what you know, you have to stand 10 toes down. So I hope this message is received by the people who need it the most. And that's pretty much it.